This morning I'm up early, so I'm making myself coffee, as you can kind of hear in the background. And I'm heating up my pizza pocket and Jamaican patty that I didn't eat at supper last night, and a toast with homemade jam that I made this summer. Raspberry, strawberry, and peanut butter. I'm sending my husband to work with a lunch and a supper. He already has some hummus and pita at work, so I'm sending him with home canned turkey soup with a ramen noodle. So he's going to put that in a bowl, put this on top and microwave it. He has a salad in the jar, creamy cucumber salad dressing, his favorite. Cucumbers, tomatoes, lettuce, shredded cheese. Nothing, oh, and some green onions. And then in here is just some deli meat and cheese. And these are his favorite, which are the gluten-free crackers you can get at Costco. And then some chips. So he also has at work some cut veggies for the hummus with the pita. So he'll have this for lunch and supper as he's gone today. So I'm going to make for supper I saw a recipe for Cheeseburger Eggrolls, and I'm chopped up some homemade pickles I had left in this jar. And then I'm going to make Tabouleh with the parsley I bought last week, and use up some of this bulgur, fine bulgur. Which was kind of neat is that it's also from Canada. Yay! So basically, I take the bulgur, equal amounts of bulgur and hot water, I'll put in the bowl and let it soak it up, and it basically cooks itself. Then all I do with that is I add chopped parsley and tomatoes and olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, and onions, I believe. I'll go and double check the recipe. But I'm going to have that soaking, and we'll come back to it later. And there you go. The bulgur's in here. And then just hot water from the tap. And the pickles. I already have the cooked meat that I took out of the freezer. So all I have to do with that is mix it up with the shredded cheese and the pickles, and then get the egg roll wrappers and wrap them, and then pan fry them in a bit of oil. So we're going to have that for supper. My daughter made herself a sandwich and some goldfish for brunch, so she's not hungry for me to make lunch. And I still have half my peanut butter and jam sandwich from breakfast that I didn't finish. So I'm going to have that, and we'll just have an early supper as she has to go out to babysit tonight. And my husband won't be back until late, so we'll eat early, and then that'll be it. If there's anything left over, we'll have that for lunch tomorrow. So the bulgur's done. I just drained whatever little bit of water is left, and I'm going to use these True Lemon packets for the lemon juice, because there's always still a bit of water left in here. So I'm just going to use it to absorb the water. I'll make sure it's all out. And then I'm going to add chopped parsley and tomatoes and onions and garlic. I'm going to add the recipe I'm following, sort of. I don't have any fresh mint, so I'm not adding that in here. And I think I'm adding onions, and it doesn't call for onions. So in here I put 5 cloves of garlic. I'm going to chop that up, and then I'm going to put the parsley in there. There we go. And this is the parsley. All I did was, I bought it last week, and I just left it in the bag in the fridge. Sometimes I'll put it in a mason jar with water, and it'll stay fresh too. But since it's winter time, we're not getting a lot of sun here, so it doesn't tend to be. So here it is, perfectly fine. And since I'm using my food processor, I'm not going to be too careful of not getting too much stems. So you see, I just kind of broke it apart and shoved it in here. The food processor is going to process it. Yes, there are some stems, doesn't matter. It's all going in here. And the stems that didn't have any leaves are in this bag. I'm throwing that in my bag in the freezer for making soup stock, as that batch will be nice and flavorful. And look at that, it's all done. So remember last week, maybe it was Monday even, the onions I cut down to the top of this jar, and look how long they've grown. And this, I'm in Canada, we don't get much sun right now, and this is just in a mason jar with water. They're very rooty. I could put them in a pot and see how they'll grow, but they're just growing like crazy, and we haven't really had a sunny day in a week. So there, I've cut them off. It's now at the jar level, and I'm just going to put them by the window. And I'm just putting the green onions in here and let the thing do its job. And look, it's all done. Now I've just thrown some tomatoes in here. I put 3 tomatoes, and I'm just gonna get that. Oops, I have to fix that thing. There we go. If I had the time, I'd chop it by hand, but I want to do it as quick as possible. And there, it's all chopped up. And there's the parsley on top of the bulgur. Well, the parsley, garlic, and onions. Just gonna put that there. Put that on top. And stir it up. Now, if I had done this, if I do this again, when I do the parsley, I'm going to take it out first, so it doesn't blend up as much, because I found that it blended up a lot once I put the onion in there. But this is exactly what I'm going for in Tabouleh salad. If you want more parsley, less bulgur, then do that. We like it garlicky and lemony, and we put some olive oil in it, and then salt and pepper. So here's the olive oil. Just do that, stir that around. And I just put some salt and pepper in here because my salt's a salt grinder that I need 2 hands for, and I don't have 2 hands holding the camera. So, and then basically you taste it and you see how it is. I'll use this. Got another spoon. I think it needs more lemon juice. So I'll use a couple more lemon packets. There, I put a bit more lemon packets. Since there's always a little bit of liquid anyways, the lemon packets will dissolve in the liquid. So I don't necessarily need to add more liquid to this salad. Let's stir that up. Spoon. I think this is good now. So I'm going to let the flavors meld and marinate and put this in the fridge. Now this, as it is, will keep in the fridge for days, if not a week. I would say maybe 5 days is probably about the max, but the longer it sits together, the more the flavors melt together and taste more. So I'm going to just put that in the fridge. So this is the frozen hamburger that I had in this container. I took half of it and I put it in here. As you can see, I had already pre-cooked it with onions and peppers. I didn't season it with salt or pepper or anything, and that is what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to heat this up and put it in with the chopped pickles and shredded cheese. And there we go. Starting to defrost. I just put salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder on it, and waiting for all this to heat up so it can melt the cheese, and put the pickles in. Now the dipping sauce that's called for this is mayonnaise, tomato paste, garlic, and smoked paprika. I'm going to use, instead of tomato paste, I'm just going to use ketchup and mayo, garlic, and paprika. I don't know if mine's smoked or not, but that's what I'm going to use, as I don't really want to open up a big jar of tomato paste. And I have ketchup, so, or if you had Thousand Islands dressing, or if you wanted to dip into anything else, or just plain ketchup. There we go. It's all defrosted now. Turn this off. And I'll put the pickles in. And I think the original recipe also called it for American cheese, like 6 slices of American cheese, which I think is like cheese slices, and I don't really have cheese slices. So I had shredded this block of cheddar the other day, so I'm going to use this cheddar. This is old cheddar, or sharp cheddar, so I'm just putting that on top and letting that melt, and then I'll show you assembly of how to make the egg rolls. So this is a rice paper wrap, not rice paper wrap, egg roll wrapper, and here I drained the meat and I put more cheese in it. Now I'm going to put some filling in here. cheesy, meaty, and pickly filling. And then you take water in your hands and you put it along the edges of the egg roll paper. And then you'll roll it up. I'm just gonna have to pop. And there, it's all wrapped. Then I put oil in the pan, and I'm gonna put, that's the leftover used oil to reuse, and I'm gonna put some more oil in, about a 1/4 of an inch in the pan, and I will fry those up. There, and I just made that in about 5-6 minutes, and then the oil started to get hot. So you let them cook until they're brown, because since all the filling is done, already cooked, you just have to cook the outside skin. Now if I do this again, I'm not going to add the cheese to the mixture, because it all kinds of melts and make a bit of a sauce at the bottom. What I'll do next time is put the mixture in the egg rolls, wrap, and then put cheese on top. And then do this, because then it'll be more cheesy. And then I'll flip them. Turn it down a bit so I don't get it too hot. So supper tonight is going to be a few of these and the Tabouleh, and that'll be it. And I just put it on paper towel or newspaper. And there we go. And that's them. And that's supper. So in here is just mayonnaise, some ketchup, some garlic, and the paprika. It's not smoked, but it will work. And you just mix it all together, and that'll be the dipping sauce. And that's the last ones of the wrappers. I have to go and grab some more from the freezer. I have still some left. So I'll make those for lunch for tomorrow. But here's the dipping sauce. Needs more paprika. But there we go. That's what we'll be having as supper. And I had washed my hands before I tried to taste it, so. Alright. There we go.